You are standing at a party, surrounded by people speaking English. You want to join in, but your heart is racing. You have the grammar rules in your head, but when you open your mouth, nothing comes out. You feel like a stranger in a room full of friends.
Hello, hello, superstars. A truly massive, high energy, and vibrant welcome back to day 29 of our 60-day spoken English podcast, clapping hands enthusiastically. Wow, Sam, just take a deep breath. We are officially one day away from the big day 30, the halfway mark.
If you have been with us since day one, you have transformed from someone who said, "myself is," to a person who can navigate banks, airports, and boardrooms. Absolutely incredible. It has been a wild journey, hasn't it?
Today, we are tackling what I call the holy grail of fluency, making friends in English, starting conversations naturally, and keeping those conversations going.
Let's be honest. Social English is actually much harder than business English. In an office, there's an agenda. You know what to talk about. But at a party or a cafe, there are no rules. Anything can happen.
This is where you feel tongue-tied when you try to recall words or verb conjugations. You might struggle to keep up because the words are flying at you at 100 miles an hour. You feel that shock because real friends don't speak like the clear, slow recordings in your old-school textbooks.
Our foundation today is the extensive learning method. We believe that the best way to get used to real spoken English is through stories and immersion. At a social event, you aren't there to study the people, you're there to enjoy and appreciate the connection.
Wait, if you go into a party trying to intensively analyze every grammar point your new friend uses, you will completely derail your progress. You will look like a robot. Instead, you must listen for the gist.
Gist means, can I follow the main idea of what they're saying? If your new friend is talking about a movie and you understand they liked the ending, that's enough. Carry on and enjoy the feeling of making progress.
As our sources suggest, the feeling of "I don't understand everything" is totally normal. In a social setting, skipping a difficult paragraph of a story or an unfamiliar word is a mature approach. It keeps the momentum alive.
If you stop to ask, what does that adjective mean, the laughter moves on without you. You lose the rhythm, you lose the vibe.
Look at Alice and Natalie. Alice is a 28-year-old writer who writes mystery novels. She's social, curious, and fearless. She doesn't know much about art, but she makes friends with Lawrence Windsor and Detective Smith because she's focused on the gist of the mystery.
She trusts her natural abilities to learn passively as she listens. She doesn't panic, she just stays present.
Absolutely. Your proficiency comes from the time you spend integrating the language into your life. So for day 29, our goal is to move from learning English to living English with other people.
Are you ready to become a social architect? Let's break the ice. Absolutely. Sounds of people chatting in a background cafe.
How do you start a conversation with a stranger without it being awkward? Our sources give us the perfect social openers that sound natural and warm.
The first one is the informal greeting extension. Look at Jane and Helen. Jane sees Helen and says, "Hi, Helen, how's it going?"
Wow, did you notice the I sound in hi? In American social English, we often extend that sound, hi, to show we are very pleased to see someone. This is a tiny secret that changes everything.
If you say a short, clipped hi, you might sound busy or even a little cold. But if you say hi, you sound friendly and open. And how's it going is the ultimate social opener. It's the cool cousin of how are you?
Then we have the coincidence bridge. If you see someone you haven't seen in a while, or even someone you just met once before, use high energy phrases.
Long time no see, or what a coincidence. These exclamations show surprise and joy. In a social setting, your energy is your best friend.
What about seeing a friend on the street? Don't just say, "Where are you going?" That can sound like an interrogation. Instead, use, "Where are you off to?"
Notice the falling intonation at the end because it's an information question. It sounds much more like a real person and less like a textbook exercise.
Another great strategy is the "I'm a big fan of" technique. A great way to start a conversation with someone new is to find a shared interest.
In the dialogues, Phil and Jack are talking about sports. Phil says, "I'm a big fan of basketball too." To be a fan of is a classic American casual expression.
You can use this for anything. "I'm a big fan of mystery novels," or "I'm a huge fan of your work." It immediately builds a bridge between you and the other person.
Even in casual talk, your heartbeat, the syllable stress, matters. We have to keep our rhythm correct so people can understand our gist.
Absolutely. Now, what if the environment is loud? Maybe you're at a party with music. If you can't hear your new friend, don't just say, "What?" That can sound a bit aggressive.
Use, "Can you repeat that, please?" or "I beg your pardon?" with a rising intonation. "I beg your pardon" makes you sound very sophisticated and polite.
It's much better than "huh." Using these phrases shows you are a social architect who cares about the quality of the connection.
Absolutely. We're building bridges, one sentence at a time. But starting the conversation is just the first step. How do we keep it from dying after 2 minutes?
That is the real challenge, Sam. Keeping the spark alive requires some specific hooks and nudges that keep the other person talking.
And we are going to dive deep into those conversation savers right now. Are you guys ready? Let's keep this energy moving. Welcome back to part 2, everyone. Now, we just discussed how to open a door, but how do you stay inside the room? Anyone can say hello, but a social architect knows how to keep the talk flowing for 20 minutes without a single awkward silence.
That is so true, Sam. The biggest mistake people make is answering a question and then just stopping. If I ask you how your weekend was and you say it was good, the conversation is basically dead. You've hit a brick wall.
Exactly. You have to throw the ball back. And that brings us to the "and you" hook. This is the most underused secret in American English. In our dialogues, Helen says, "Fine, thanks. And you?"
Wait, listen to that intonation. It's not "and you," it's "and you?" The rising intonation shows you are genuinely interested in the other person. If you don't throw that ball back, the other person feels like they are doing all the work.
It's like a tennis match. If I hit the ball to you and you just catch it and put it in your pocket, the game is over. You have to hit it back. Practice saying it with us. "I'm doing great, and you?"
Another great tool for your social belt is the "oh, really?" surprise. If your friend tells you something, even if it's just a small detail about their day, use Phil's phrase, "Oh, really?"
The rising intonation on "really" shows you are surprised and, more importantly, that you are listening. In America, being a good listener is actually more important than being a fast talker.
Absolutely. It encourages the other person to tell you more. It's a green light for them to keep talking. "Oh, really? Tell me more about that." Or, "Oh, really? I had no idea."
Now, what if the conversation starts to get a little bit boring? Maybe you've talked about the weather for 10 minutes and you're ready to move on. You need to pivot.
This is where Julie's phrase comes in. How about? Remember, superstars, how about is usually followed by an ing verb when suggesting an action.
How about grabbing some coffee? Or how about playing a board game? It's a tentative suggestion. It's not a command. It's a very friendly way to lead the conversation to a new place.
We also use the word "just" for emphasis to show enthusiasm. In the stories, Frank says, "I'm just glad it's over." You can use this to make your compliments sound more sincere.
The party is just wonderful, or that's just what I was thinking. It adds a layer of emotion to your English that makes you sound less like a student and more like a friend.
Now, let's talk about the native secret of blending. This is the "yeah, you're right" blending. If you say "yeah, you are right" word by word, you sound like a computer from 1995.
Real Americans blend those words together. It sounds like "you're right." The "you" and "are" turn into a very soft "you're."
Yeah, you're right. Say it fast. Yeah, you're right. This casual expression is used to agree with someone you know well. It shows you are in the same rhythm as them.
And finally, don't forget empathy. If a friend is complaining about a long day, don't just stand there. Say, "Oh no," or "I know how you feel."
If they thank you for something, use a variety of responses. Don't just say "you're welcome" every single time. Try "no problem," "don't mention it," or "happy to help."
Okay, it's time for the ultimate role play. Natalie is our new friend at a party, and you, the listener, are going to be the social architect. Ishani, let's show them how it's done.
I'll play Natalie. I'm an art historian. I'm a bit tired, and I'm looking for a good conversation. Sam, you play the listener's part so they can hear the flow.
Ready. Hi, I don't think we've met yet. I'm Sam.
Hi, I'm Natalie. I'm an art historian.
Wow, an art historian. How interesting. I'm a big fan of art myself, though I don't know much about the technical side. What do you think of the collection here at the gallery?
It's actually amazing. I just saw some Turner drawings in the back room that are very special. They aren't usually on display.
Oh, really? I heard about those on the news this morning. What a coincidence that they're here today.
Yes, it's been a crazy week. I've actually been helping the police with a small investigation regarding some missing sketches.
Wow, that sounds exactly like a mystery novel. I know how you feel. I love a good mystery, but I imagine it must be stressful.
It's been exhausting, honestly. I'm just glad the whole thing is finally over.
Absolutely, I can imagine. Well, how about we grab a drink and you tell me the whole story from the beginning? I'm dying to hear the details.
Sure, I'd love to. Let's head to the bar.
Wow, did you hear that flow, superstars? We used the Hiiii extension, the I'm a big fan of connection, the oh really interest, and the how about pivot.
You weren't just reciting grammar nuggets. You were integrating the language into a real human connection. That is the story learning mindset in action.
We have reached the end of day 29. We have reached the end of day 29. Tomorrow is the big one, day 30, the halfway mark.
We'll be doing a speak without thinking challenge, and I'll give you 10 powerful daily sentences that will make you sound like a native speaker instantly. You definitely want to be there for that.
Your day 29 challenge is simple. Have one micro conversation today. Start with how's it going, use oh really, and throw the ball back with and you.
Record yourself if you can. Listen for your syllable stress. Remember economist and honeymoon. Keep that heartbeat strong in your social talk.
Thank you so much for joining us today. Keep your eyes on the gist, keep your highs friendly, and we will see you tomorrow for the big celebration.
Stay social, stay confident, and as always, happy learning.
Thank you and good night.
Bye-bye, superstars.